Hello, and welcome to this peaceful night. Tonight, we'll begin a gentle journey into the hidden world of Earth, where life exists in countless forms, not only in forests and rivers, but deep in the oceans, across frozen mountains, and even within the air we quietly breathe. Some creatures have remained almost unchanged for millions of years, and others survive in places where living should be impossible. Every organism carries a small story, a quiet mystery, reminding us that our planet is more alive than we ever realize. So, if you enjoy these calm journeys, simply get comfortable, breathe slowly, and let your thoughts grow soft. And now, let's begin. Long before humans walked beneath the sky, life was already learning how to endure. Earth was once a wild and unfamiliar world. The air was different, the oceans were young, and the surface of the planet was still forming itself. Yet somehow, in the middle of all that chaos, life found a way to begin. Many scientists believe that the first spark of life may have started far beneath the ocean, in places known as hydrothermal vents. These vents are deep-sea cracks where hot water rises from inside the earth, carrying minerals and chemicals. The water that pours out can be extremely hot, sometimes hotter than boiling water. Yet around these vents, life thrives. The reason is simple but astonishing. Instead of depending on sunlight, some organisms depend on chemistry. Tiny bacteria near these vents can use chemicals like hydrogen sulfide as an energy source. This process is called chemosynthesis. It is similar to photosynthesis, but instead of sunlight, it uses chemical reactions. These bacteria become the foundation of an entire food chain. Strange creatures gather around them, including tube worms that have no mouths, no stomachs, and no need to hunt. They survive because they host these bacteria inside their bodies, forming a partnership that allows both to live. What makes this even more fascinating is that hydrothermal vents may resemble environments on other worlds. Scientists studying moons like Europa, which may have oceans beneath their icy surfaces, often wonder if life there could exist in the same way, quietly, chemically, hidden in darkness. Life on Earth did not begin in comfort. It began in pressure, heat, and darkness. That tells us something important. Life is not always delicate. Sometimes it is stubborn. Sometimes it is unbelievably creative. And even today, there are organisms on Earth that live in places that feel almost unreal. Deep beneath the ground, microbes have been discovered living in rock layers, surviving with almost no oxygen and no sunlight. Some of them feed on minerals, slowly breaking down stone, as if the earth itself were their meal. And then there are creatures that can survive being frozen. In parts of North America, the wood frog can allow its body to freeze almost completely during winter. Its heart stops, its breathing stops, yet it does not die. Special chemicals in its body protect its cells from being destroyed by ice. When spring arrives, the frog slowly thaws and returns to life. In the deep ocean, there are also animals that have never seen light at all. Some fish have no eyes. Some crabs are ghostly pale. They drift through endless darkness, guided by senses we can barely understand. The more we learn, the clearer it becomes. Life is everywhere. It does not require perfect conditions. It only requires a small opening, a small chance to continue. And as we move forward tonight, we'll discover even more quiet miracles, creatures that glow, creatures that regenerate, and beings so ancient they feel like living memories of the planet itself. As life spread across the planet, it began to experiment. Slowly, patiently, it tested different shapes, different strategies, different ways to survive. Some creatures evolved speed, some evolved strength, but others chose something far more mysterious: endurance through time itself. One of the most ancient survivors in Earth's oceans is the jellyfish. Jellyfish have drifted through the seas for more than 500 million years. That means they existed long before dinosaurs ever walked on land. They existed before trees covered the continents. They have watched entire eras come and go. Their bodies are almost dreamlike. They are mostly water, with no bones, no brain like ours, and no heart. Yet their design works so well that nature barely needed to change it. They float with the currents, pulsing gently through the ocean like living lanterns. Sometimes jellyfish gather in enormous groups called blooms. These blooms can be so large they cover miles of ocean, and in some cases they have even been visible from satellites above the Earth. Their quiet presence reminds us that the ocean is not empty. It is full of life that moves slowly, silently, and endlessly. Another hidden giant of Earth is not an animal at all, but a fungus. In the forests of Oregon, scientists discovered one of the largest living organisms ever recorded. It is a honey fungus, spreading underground through thin threads called mycelium. Above ground, it looks like separate mushrooms appearing here and there. But beneath the soil, it is one connected body stretching across several square miles. This fungus is not only massive, it is ancient. Some researchers believe it has been alive for thousands of years. It feeds quietly on tree roots and decaying wood, recycling the forest from below. Walking through that forest, you might feel like you are surrounded by many different living things, but under your feet, one organism may be holding everything together. And then there are life forms that survive by becoming many. Certain trees have the ability to clone themselves. A famous example is a quaking aspen grove in Utah called Pando. It looks like a forest of separate trees, but it is actually one single organism. Each trunk is connected through the same root system, meaning the entire forest is one living being. Some scientists believe Pando may be tens of thousands of years old. While individual trunks grow old and fall, new ones rise in their place. In this way, the organism continues without truly ending. It is like a living river of wood, always changing on the surface, yet still the same underneath. These ancient organisms show a different kind of immortality, not the immortality of never being harmed, but the immortality of continuing through renewal. They remind us that life is not always about one body surviving forever. Sometimes it is about a pattern surviving, repeating itself, carrying the same story forward. And that story becomes even more astonishing when we look at the smallest life forms of all. Because in the world of microbes, survival becomes even more extreme, even more unimaginable, as if nature itself refuses to accept an ending. If you could shrink down small enough to see the invisible world around you, you might never feel alone again, because Earth is not only a planet of animals and forests, it is a planet of microbes, tiny organisms so small that millions could fit inside a single drop of water. Microbes were here long before plants and animals existed. They shaped the atmosphere, they changed the oceans, and even today, they remain the foundation of life. Some live in the soil, breaking down dead leaves into nutrients. Some float through the air, drifting like invisible dust. Some live deep beneath the ocean floor, surviving under crushing pressure where no light has ever reached. And surprisingly, many of them live inside you. Scientists now know that the human body is not just one organism, it is an ecosystem. In your gut, on your skin, in your mouth, and even in places you never think about, bacteria and other microbes live alongside you every day. Together, they are called the microbiome. These microbes are not just passengers. Many of them help keep you alive. They assist in digestion, they help create vitamins, they train your immune system to recognize danger. Some researchers even believe the microbiome may influence mood and mental health by interacting with the nervous system. It is strange to realize that you are not only human cells, you are a community, a moving world made of many different forms of life cooperating in silence. But microbes are not only found in warm, comfortable places. Some have adapted to survive in extreme environments that seem almost impossible. In Antarctica, microbes have been found trapped inside ice for thousands of years, waiting in a frozen sleep. In hot springs, others survive in boiling water that would destroy most living tissue. Some bacteria can even survive high levels of radiation, repairing their DNA again and again, as if they are constantly rebuilding themselves. There are also microbes known as lithotrophs. These organisms do something almost unbelievable. They can feed on rocks. Instead of eating plants or animals, they pull energy from minerals like iron and sulfur. They live deep underground, where no sunlight and no organic food exists. In a sense, they survive by consuming the earth itself. Scientists study these rock-eating microbes because they may represent the kind of life that could exist on other planets. If Mars ever had underground water and minerals, perhaps microbes could have survived there in hidden caves, feeding slowly on stone, invisible but alive. And surprisingly, some microbes have even been discovered miles below the Earth's surface, living in cracks of rock. This underground biosphere may contain enormous amounts of life, most of which we will never see. The deeper we look, the more we realize something quiet and powerful. Life is not rare. Life is persistent. It fills every gap it can find. And if microbes can survive in rock and ice and radiation, then it becomes easier to believe that some animals might also survive the impossible. Because next, we will meet a creature so small, so strange, and so tough, it can endure the vacuum of space itself. There is a creature on Earth so tiny that you could fit several of them on the head of a pin. And yet, it has survived conditions that would destroy nearly everything else. It is called the tardigrade, but many people know it by a gentler nickname, the water bear. Under a microscope, tardigrades look almost unreal. They have 8 stubby legs, a rounded body, and a slow, clumsy way of moving, like a miniature explorer walking through an invisible wilderness. But behind that harmless appearance is one of the most powerful survival systems nature has ever created. Tardigrades live in moss, soil, and fresh water. In normal conditions, they are simple creatures, feeding and moving like any other tiny animal. But when the world becomes dangerous, when water disappears, when temperatures drop, or when radiation increases, tardigrades do something extraordinary. They enter a state called cryptobiosis. In cryptobiosis, the tardigrade dries out almost completely. Its body shrinks. Its metabolism slows to nearly zero. It becomes a dormant form, like a living seed waiting for better conditions. In this state, it can survive extreme heat, extreme cold, intense radiation, and even the vacuum of outer space. Scientists have exposed tardigrades to temperatures close to absolute zero, and they survived. They have also heated them to temperatures far above what most animals can endure. Some tardigrades have survived pressures far greater than the deepest ocean trenches. And in space experiments, tardigrades have been launched into orbit, exposed to cosmic radiation and the emptiness of space, and later revived simply by adding water. It sounds like science fiction, but it is real. Their secret lies in special proteins and sugars that protect their cells. These substances stabilize DNA and prevent membranes from collapsing during dehydration. Some tardigrades can even repair damaged DNA after exposure to radiation, as if their bodies know how to rebuild themselves from destruction. What makes this story even more fascinating is what it suggests. If such a creature can survive space-like conditions here on Earth, then perhaps life is not as limited as we once believed. Maybe life could travel between planets, hidden inside dust, frozen in ice, sleeping for centuries until it finds water again. This idea is sometimes connected to a theory called panspermia, which suggests that life might spread through space on asteroids or comets. Scientists are cautious about this idea, but tardigrades show that survival beyond Earth is not entirely impossible. And yet, despite their incredible toughness, tardigrades are not monsters. They are quiet, tiny beings that spend most of their lives in damp moss, unnoticed by the world. Their strength is hidden in silence. That is one of Earth's most beautiful lessons. The strongest survivors are not always the largest. Sometimes the most unstoppable life forms are the ones we cannot even see. And as we continue forward, we'll explore another kind of survival, not through shrinking and sleeping, but through transformation. In the ocean, some creatures can rewrite their own bodies, changing from male to female or female to male, depending on what life demands. In the human world, we often think of identity as something fixed, a name, a body, a role. But beneath the ocean's surface, nature tells a different story. In the sea, survival sometimes requires flexibility so deep that it reaches the very core of biology. Some fish can change their sex during their lifetime. This process is called sequential hermaphroditism, and it is more common than most people realize. For certain species, being male or female is not a permanent condition. It is something that can shift depending on age, environment, or the needs of the group. One of the most famous examples is the clownfish. Clownfish live in small social groups, usually within the protection of a sea anemone. In each group, there is one dominant female, the largest fish. Beneath her is a dominant male, slightly smaller. The remaining fish are immature males. If the female dies, something remarkable happens. The dominant male begins to transform. Over time, his hormones shift, his reproductive organs change, and he becomes female. Then one of the smaller males matures and takes the role of the breeding male. The group continues, balanced again, as if the ocean itself refuses to allow the story to end. Other fish species follow different patterns. Some wrasses are born female and later change into males. In these species, the largest and most powerful individual may become male to control a territory and reproduce with multiple females. If that male disappears, another fish may begin the same transformation, taking his place. Groupers can also change sex, sometimes switching from female to male when conditions demand it. These transformations are not small changes. They involve deep physical restructuring, shifting hormone levels, and even behavioral changes. The fish does not simply become a different sex, it becomes a different role within its community. This ability is not random, it is a survival strategy. In many ocean environments, finding a mate is not easy. Populations may be scattered, and predators are always nearby. By allowing individuals to change sex, the species increases the chances that reproduction will continue. It is one more example of how life adapts not only to the environment, but to the social world as well. And when you think about it, this flexibility is almost poetic. The ocean is constantly moving, constantly shifting. Tides rise and fall. Currents change direction. Storms reshape coastlines. Perhaps it makes sense that the creatures living in such a world would also evolve to be changeable. But the ocean does not stop surprising us there. Some animals are not just adaptable in identity, but in form itself. They can regrow what is lost. They can repair what is broken. In a way, they can undo injury, as if time were moving backward. One of the most famous examples is a small amphibian with a gentle face and feathery gills, known as the axolotl. The axolotl can regrow limbs, spinal cord tissue, and even parts of its brain. Where most animals heal with scars, the axolotl heals with perfection. It rebuilds itself as if it remembers exactly what it was meant to be. And as we continue our quiet journey, we'll step closer into that miracle of regeneration, where life does not simply survive, but restores itself completely. The axolotl looks like something from a peaceful dream. It has soft skin, wide eyes, and delicate feathery gills that fan out from the sides of its head like underwater flowers. Sometimes it even seems to wear a small, gentle smile. But behind that calm appearance is one of the greatest biological mysteries on Earth. The axolotl, a type of salamander native to Mexico, has an ability that humans can only imagine. It can regenerate. If an axolotl loses a leg, it can grow a new one. Not a scar, not a damaged replacement, a fully functional limb, complete with bones, muscles, nerves, and skin. And it doesn't stop there. Axolotls can also regrow parts of their spinal cord, their heart tissue, and even sections of their brain. In the natural world, regeneration exists in many forms. Starfish can regrow arms. Some lizards can regrow tails. But the axolotl's regeneration is unusually complete. It is as if its body carries a blueprint of itself, and whenever something is lost, it calmly rebuilds it from the beginning. Scientists have spent years studying this creature, hoping to understand how it performs such an incredible act. One reason axolotls can regenerate is because their cells can return to a more flexible state. When an injury happens, certain cells near the wound can transform into something like stem cells. These cells then divide and specialize again, rebuilding the missing structures with astonishing precision. Even more surprising is the fact that axolotls can regenerate without developing cancer, something that would normally be a risk when cells begin dividing rapidly. Somehow, their bodies control the process, repairing damage without losing balance. Researchers believe that unlocking the secrets of axolotl regeneration could one day help humans heal spinal cord injuries, regrow damaged tissues, or repair organs. While that future is still uncertain, the axolotl offers a living reminder that nature has already solved problems we are only beginning to understand. But regeneration is not the only way life survives. Some creatures survive by slowing their bodies down until they almost stop. They enter a state where the usual rhythms of life become quiet, like a candle burning low. This kind of survival is seen in certain frogs, especially those living in cold environments. Some frogs can remain underwater for long periods without breathing in the way we do. They absorb oxygen through their skin. During winter, when ponds freeze and temperatures drop, their metabolism slows dramatically. They become still. Their movements fade. Their bodies conserve energy with incredible efficiency. In extreme cases, some frogs can survive months in a semi-dormant state, waiting patiently for spring. They do not fight the cold, they simply endure it. This ability to pause is another lesson from nature. Not everything survives by running or hunting. Some survive by becoming quiet. And now, as we continue forward, we will meet a creature even smaller than the axolotl, yet capable of producing an explosion of energy that feels almost impossible. A tiny animal with a claw so powerful, it can create a bubble hotter than the surface of the sun. In the ocean, danger often comes without warning. The water hides movement, shadows blur, predators glide silently through the blue. And for many small creatures, survival depends on having a defense that is fast, unexpected, and almost unbelievable. One of the strangest examples is the pistol shrimp. At first glance, the pistol shrimp looks harmless. It is small, usually only a few inches long, and it spends much of its life hiding in burrows along the sea floor. But one of its claws is oversized, shaped like a strange mechanical tool. That claw is not designed for gentle movement. It is designed for impact. When the pistol shrimp snaps its claw shut, it does not simply pinch. It creates a burst of speed so intense that it fires a jet of water forward. This jet forms a bubble in the water, a sudden pocket of low pressure. And then, in a fraction of a second, that bubble collapses. This collapse creates a shock wave powerful enough to stun or kill small prey. Fish nearby may be knocked unconscious. Tiny animals can be instantly disabled. It is as if the shrimp is firing an underwater gun. But the most astonishing part is what happens inside that collapsing bubble. Scientists have discovered that for a brief instant, the temperature inside the bubble can rise to thousands of degrees. Some estimates suggest it can become as hot as the surface of the sun. Along with the heat, the collapsing bubble produces a flash of light, a phenomenon called sonoluminescence. All of this power comes from an animal small enough to fit in your hand. In some parts of the ocean, colonies of pistol shrimp snap their claws so often that the underwater environment becomes noisy, filled with crackling pops like distant fireworks. Submarines and researchers have even had difficulty hearing sonar signals because the shrimp are so loud. The ocean, which seems silent from above, can actually sound like a busy city below. This is one of nature's most surprising truths. Immense force does not always come from large bodies. Sometimes it comes from clever design. And clever design appears again and again in the natural world. While the pista shrimp uses physics as a weapon, other creatures use something even more mysterious: invisible forces. Some animals can sense things we cannot see, feel, or hear. Birds, for example, are known for their long migrations. They cross oceans, deserts, and mountain ranges, traveling thousands of miles with stunning accuracy. For a long time, scientists wondered how they could navigate so perfectly. One answer is Earth's magnetic field. Many birds have a sense called magnetoreception. It allows them to detect the planet's magnetic lines, almost like an internal compass. Some researchers believe birds may even see the magnetic field as a faint visual pattern overlaying the world. It is not magic, it is biology responding to a force that surrounds us all. To humans, the magnetic field is invisible. We live inside it without noticing. But to a migrating bird, it may be a silent guide stretching across the sky. And soon we will follow another traveler that journeys across continents, not with strong wings like an eagle, but with fragile wings like paper. A creature so delicate yet capable of crossing vast distances, carried by instinct and the quiet pull of nature's map.
There is something deeply peaceful about watching a butterfly drift through the air. Its wings move softly, almost like a slow breath. It seems fragile, as if even a strong wind could erase it. And yet, one of the most delicate creatures on Earth performs one of the most extraordinary journeys in the natural world: the monarch butterfly. Every year, as summer fades into autumn, monarchs begin a migration that stretches across thousands of miles. Many travel from Canada and the northern United States all the way to central Mexico, where they gather in mountain forests to spend the winter. For such a small creature, the distance is almost unimaginable. A monarch butterfly weighs less than a paperclip, yet it can travel farther than many birds. It crosses open land, storms, highways, and entire regions of changing climate, guided by instincts written into its tiny body. What makes this migration even more astonishing is that no single monarch completes the entire round trip. The butterflies that leave in the fall are not the same individuals that return in spring. Instead, the journey is carried across generations. The monarchs that migrate south in autumn may live longer than typical monarchs, sometimes surviving 8 months, while summer monarchs may live only a few weeks. When spring arrives, these overwintering butterflies begin moving north, laying eggs along the way. Their offspring continue the journey, and their offspring continue after them. It becomes a living relay race, where each generation carries the story forward without ever seeing the beginning or the end. Yet somehow the monarchs still find the same forests in Mexico year after year. In some cases, they gather on the very same trees their ancestors once covered. When millions of monarchs settle together, the forest becomes quiet and orange, as if the trees themselves have grown wings. It is one of nature's most breathtaking scenes.
and it is also a reminder that instinct can be as powerful as memory. Scientists believe monarchs use a combination of sunlight, internal biological clocks, and Earth's magnetic field to guide their migration. Their navigation system is subtle but incredibly precise. Even without a map, even without teaching, they know where to go. This kind of built-in knowledge appears again in the ocean, where intelligence takes on another form entirely. Dolphins, for example, are famous for their social lives and playful behavior, but what is less known is the way dolphins communicate. Researchers have discovered that dolphins use signature whistles that function like names. Each dolphin develops its own unique whistle early in life. Other dolphins recognize it and can call to that individual using that sound. Imagine that for a moment, a world beneath the waves where voices carry names through the water. Dolphins calling out to one another across the ocean, identifying friends and family through sound alone. This suggests something rare in the animal kingdom, a sense of identity. Dolphins do not only react, they recognize, they remember, they belong to a community. And while dolphins use sound to identify each other, another creature uses a completely different kind of system, a creature so strange that it seems almost alien, with blue blood and multiple hearts, designed for a life of mystery in the deep. And as we continue, we'll drift closer into that underwater world where intelligence hides in unexpected forms and where evolution creates bodies that feel like they were designed by imagination itself.
In the ocean, there are creatures that feel like they belong to another planet. They move with a quiet elegance, slipping through the water as if gravity does not apply to them. And among the strangest of all is the octopus. An octopus has no bones. Its body is soft, flexible, and able to squeeze through openings that seem impossibly small. If an octopus can fit its beak through a gap, the rest of its body can follow. It can become thin as a ribbon, hiding inside cracks in coral reefs or slipping into tiny caves along the seafloor. But the octopus is not only strange in shape, it is strange in the way it lives. Unlike humans who have one heart, the octopus has three. Two of these hearts pump blood through the gills where oxygen is absorbed. The third heart pumps oxygen-rich blood to the rest of the body. And even its blood is different. Human blood is red because it contains iron-based hemoglobin. Octopus blood is blue because it contains copper-based hemocyanin. This blue blood is especially useful in cold waters where oxygen is harder to absorb. It allows octopuses to survive in environments that might challenge other animals. Yet even with these adaptations, the octopus remains a creature of delicate balance. When it swims, its main heart can actually stop beating, which is why many octopuses prefer to crawl rather than swim long distances. But perhaps the most fascinating thing about the octopus is its intelligence. Octopuses can solve puzzles. They can open jars. They can escape from enclosures. Some have even been observed using tools, such as carrying coconut shells to build shelters. Their brains are large compared to their bodies, and their nervous systems are unlike anything we experience. In fact, most of an octopus's neurons are not in its brain. They are spread throughout its arms. Each arm can sense and respond almost independently, as if the octopus is made of 8 separate minds working together. When you watch an octopus explore, it does not move like a simple animal. It moves like a thinking presence. They can also change color and texture in an instant. Specialized skin cells allow them to shift from pale to dark, from spotted to striped, from smooth to spiky. This is not just camouflage, it is communication. Mood, warning, fear, curiosity, all expressed through shifting patterns of skin. The octopus is a reminder that intelligence is not limited to animals that look like us. Evolution can build awareness in many different shapes. And the ocean holds other forms of awareness as well. Crows, though they live on land, show a different kind of intelligence that surprises many people. Crows can recognize human faces. Scientists have tested this by having researchers wear masks while interacting with crows. The birds remembered which mask represented danger and which represented safety. Even years later, they reacted differently, warning other crows when they saw the dangerous face again. That means a crow can observe you, remember you, and share information with its community. This is not simple instinct, it is social memory. And just as crows remember faces, elephants remember landscapes, storms, and even distant sounds. They are giants with minds shaped by long journeys. So as we continue our quiet exploration, we will step into the world of Earth's largest land animals, creatures whose senses stretch far beyond ours, listening to the planet itself as if it were speaking in a language only they can hear.
There is a quiet wisdom in the way elephants move. They do not rush. They do not waste energy. They travel with the steady rhythm of creatures that have walked the earth for millions of years. And while they are known for their size and strength, their greatest power may actually be their sensitivity. Elephants can sense the world in ways that humans cannot. Researchers have observed that elephants are able to detect storms from incredibly long distances, sometimes more than 100 miles away. Before a storm arrives, elephants may begin migrating toward water sources, as if they already know what is coming. Scientists believe this ability may be connected to infrasonic sound. Infrasound is sound too low for humans to hear. Thunderstorms, shifting winds, and distant weather patterns can create low-frequency vibrations that travel through the ground and air. Elephants can pick up these vibrations through their feet and ears, reading the planet's signals like a living radar system. Their feet are especially remarkable. The pads beneath an elephant's feet can detect subtle vibrations traveling through the ground. This means elephants may sense distant movement, thunder, or even the calls of other elephants miles away. And elephants do call to each other over great distances. Their deep rumbles can travel through the earth as well as the air, reaching family members who are far away. It is a kind of communication that feels almost ancient, as if the land itself becomes part of their language. But beyond their senses, elephants are also known for their memory. They remember water holes, migration routes, and safe paths across harsh landscapes. In times of drought, older elephants often lead herds to hidden sources of water, places they may have visited decades earlier. Their memory becomes survival for the entire group. Elephants are also emotional animals. They form deep family bonds. They comfort one another. They grieve. Some have been observed touching the bones of dead elephants gently, as if recognizing the loss. They may stand quietly near the remains, silent and still, like a ritual of remembrance. In many ways, elephants remind us that intelligence is not only about solving puzzles, it is also about connection. And connection is found across the animal kingdom in surprising ways. In the ocean, whales also form bonds, but they express them through sound. Whales sing songs that can travel for miles through the water. These songs are not random. They have patterns, rhythms, and repeating structures. And what is most fascinating is that whale songs change over time. In some whale populations, one song may dominate for a season, spreading across groups like a musical trend. Over months and years, the song slowly evolves, shifting its notes and patterns. It is almost like culture, a shared language of music passed through generations. Imagine that for a moment, a world where the ocean itself carries melodies, where songs drift through darkness, echoing beneath waves, connecting distant creatures in a slow, living chorus. Sound becomes a bridge, a way to find one another in vast, empty spaces. And while whales sing through water, other animals communicate through light. Deep in the ocean, where sunlight fades into blackness, living beings glow. They flash, shimmer, and pulse, creating quiet lanterns in the deep. As we continue forward, we will drift into that glowing world, where life creates its own stars beneath the sea, and darkness becomes filled with soft, living light. As the ocean grows deeper, sunlight begins to disappear. The bright blue surface becomes dim, colors fade, shadows stretch longer, and eventually there is only darkness, a world where day and night no longer exist. Yet even here, life is not silent. In the deep sea, many creatures produce their own light. This natural glow is called bioluminescence. It is one of the most beautiful and mysterious survival tools on Earth. In a place where the sun cannot reach, living beings have learned to create their own stars. Bioluminescence is produced through a chemical reaction inside an organism's body. Special molecules and enzymes interact to release energy in the form of light. Unlike a light bulb, this light produces very little heat. It is cold light, soft and efficient, designed by evolution for the deep ocean. Some animals use bioluminescence to attract prey. Anglerfish are famous for this. They carry a glowing lure on their heads, dangling it like a lantern in the darkness. Small fish swim closer, curious, and in an instant, the anglerfish strikes. In the deep sea, curiosity can be dangerous. Other animals use light for defense. Certain squid release glowing clouds, confusing predators and allowing them to escape. Certain shrimp can produce bursts of bioluminescent fluid, turning the water into a sparkling distraction. Many creatures use bioluminescence to communicate. They flash patterns, sending signals through darkness. In some species, males and females use light to find each other, like living fireflies beneath the waves. And then there is counter-illumination, a strategy that feels almost like magic. Some fish glow on their bellies, matching the faint light above them. This makes them harder to see from below, hiding their shadow. It is camouflage made of light itself. Bioluminescence is so common in the deep ocean that scientists estimate most deep-sea animals can produce some form of glow. The ocean floor becomes a slow-moving galaxy, full of flickering points of light drifting through endless night. But the deep sea holds more than glowing creatures. It holds beings that seem ancient, shaped by a world of pressure and darkness. In the Mariana Trench, the deepest part of the ocean, pressure becomes extreme. The weight of the water above is so great that it would crush a human instantly. Yet certain animals survive there, including small snailfish and strange crustaceans. Their bodies are built differently, adapted to withstand a force that feels unimaginable. And while deep-sea animals endure pressure, some life forms endure something else entirely: time. Some sharks, like the Greenland shark, may live for hundreds of years. Scientists believe certain Greenland sharks can live over 400 years, making them some of the longest living vertebrates on Earth. They grow slowly, move slowly, and age so gently that their lives stretch across centuries.
Imagine a creature swimming through the Arctic Ocean before the United States even existed, a creature alive before modern cities, before electricity, before airplanes, quietly gliding through icy waters, unchanged by the fast world above. Life in the ocean teaches patience. It teaches slow survival. It shows us that time can move differently beneath the waves. And as we continue, we will rise gently toward the surface again, to meet creatures that survive not through glowing light or deep pressure, but through something even stranger, the ability to freeze solid, stop their heartbeat, and still return to life when warmth comes back.
There is a certain kind of silence that comes with winter. The air feels still, the ground hardens, lakes grow quiet beneath a layer of ice. And in that cold world, many animals disappear. Some migrate, some hide, some sleep. But a few creatures do something far more extreme. They freeze. In parts of North America, the wood frog survives winter by allowing its body to become almost completely frozen. As temperatures drop, the frog buries itself under leaves and soil. Ice begins forming in its body. Its heart stops beating. Its breathing stops. Blood no longer flows. To a human, this would mean death, but for the wood frog, it is survival. The secret lies in chemistry. As the frog begins to freeze, its body releases large amounts of glucose into its organs and tissues. This glucose acts like a natural antifreeze. It protects cells by preventing ice crystals from forming inside them. Instead, ice forms mostly outside the cells, reducing damage. In a frozen state, the frog becomes still and lifeless, like a small piece of ice hidden in the forest floor. It can remain this way for weeks. Then, when spring arrives and temperatures rise, the frog slowly thaws. Its heart begins beating again. Its lungs begin working again, and it returns to life as if nothing happened. This ability feels almost impossible, like a creature stepping out of death itself. And frogs are not the only ones. Certain insects also survive freezing conditions. Some beetles and caterpillars produce special proteins that control how ice forms in their bodies. Others dehydrate themselves, reducing water content so that freezing becomes less harmful. Nature has invented multiple ways to endure winter, each one more creative than the last. In some cases, animals survive by entering a state of suspended metabolism. They do not fully freeze, but their bodies slow down so dramatically that they use almost no energy. This is seen in certain frogs and turtles that hibernate underwater. Some turtles can survive for months beneath frozen ponds without breathing air. They absorb small amounts of oxygen through their skin and the lining of their bodies. Their metabolism slows to an almost silent pace. They wait, still and patient, until the world warms again. This kind of survival teaches a powerful lesson. Life does not always fight the environment. Sometimes it adapts by becoming quiet, by slowing down, by pausing. It is like nature understands the value of waiting. And waiting is not only found in cold climates. Waiting exists in deserts too, where water is rare and the heat is relentless. Some desert plants can remain dormant for years, surviving as seeds buried beneath dry soil. Then, when rain finally arrives, they awaken quickly, blooming in sudden bursts of color. The desert, which seemed lifeless, becomes alive overnight. Even animals in deserts have learned patience. Certain frogs in Australia bury themselves deep underground and surround their bodies with a cocoon of dried skin. They can remain in this state for years, waiting for rain. When the rains come, they emerge, alive and ready. Life on Earth is full of these hidden pauses, these moments where existence slows, sleeps,
and holds its breath. And as we continue our gentle journey, we will meet creatures that do not freeze or hibernate, but instead survive by changing their bodies, repairing damage, and even rebuilding themselves. Because some organisms do not simply endure harsh conditions, they transform beyond them.
Transformation is one of nature's favorite secrets. Life does not always survive by staying the same. Sometimes it survives by becoming something new. And on Earth, there are creatures that change so completely that they seem like living proof that identity can be rewritten. One of the most familiar examples is a caterpillar. A caterpillar spends its early life crawling slowly across leaves, eating constantly, growing larger day by day. It appears simple, almost ordinary, but inside its body, something extraordinary is waiting. When the time is right, the caterpillar forms a chrysalis and begins a process that looks like death. Inside the chrysalis, much of the caterpillar's body breaks down. Tissues dissolve, structures disappear. Yet hidden within the dissolving body are groups of special cells called imaginal discs. These cells contain the blueprint for the adult butterfly. They begin building wings, antennae, and new organs. What emerges is not a slightly improved caterpillar. It is an entirely different creature. A butterfly rises from the chrysalis with delicate wings, capable of flight, movement, and migration. It is as if the animal has stepped into a second life. But transformation is not only found in insects, it is found in the ocean as well. Some fish, like eels, undergo mysterious life cycles that still confuse scientists. Certain species of eel travel thousands of miles to spawn in the open ocean. Their larvae drift with currents for months or even years before returning to rivers. They transform multiple times, shifting shape as they grow. Their lives are long journeys written in stages. And there are amphibians too, like frogs, that begin as tadpoles. Tadpoles breathe through gills and live underwater. Then slowly they develop legs, lungs, and the ability to live on land. They change their entire way of existence, trading water for air. Nature treats transformation like a doorway. It allows creatures to live in different worlds within a single lifetime. Yet perhaps the most fascinating transformations are those that happen quietly, without dramatic cocoons or obvious stages. Some animals change simply because the environment demands it. Certain species of fish can alter their coloring depending on their surroundings. Some reptiles can adjust their behavior and body temperature by shifting between sun and shade. Even plants respond to their environment. Some trees grow thicker bark in harsh climates. Some flowers bloom only when specific conditions are met. It is as if the planet is constantly shaping its living beings, and those beings are constantly reshaping themselves in return. But beyond transformation, there is another survival miracle that feels even more powerful. Some organisms can repair themselves so completely that injury becomes temporary. Sea stars can regrow arms. If an arm is lost, it slowly returns, rebuilt piece by piece. In some cases, an entire new sea star can grow from a single detached arm if part of the central body remains. Planarian worms can regenerate even more dramatically. If cut into pieces, each piece can grow into a complete new worm. They do not just heal, they multiply through damage. This ability has fascinated scientists for decades. How does a body remember its shape? How does it know what is missing? How does it rebuild with accuracy? These questions lead us deeper into one of the greatest mysteries of biology, the idea that life carries an internal map of itself. And as we continue, we will explore creatures that seem to hold that map perfectly, organisms that can regrow not only limbs, but vital organs,
and do so with a calm precision that feels almost like magic.
There is something comforting about the idea that the body can repair itself. A cut closes, a bruise fades, skin renews. Even after injury, the body tries to return to balance. But for most animals, healing has limits. Damage leaves scars. Lost limbs do not return. Broken structures become permanent reminders. Yet on Earth, there are creatures that seem to live by a different set of rules. One of the most remarkable is the salamander. Certain salamanders can regrow limbs, tails, and even parts of internal organs. When a limb is lost, the wound does not simply close. Instead, a special structure forms called a blastema. The blastema is a collection of cells that become flexible, almost like stem cells. These cells divide and rebuild the missing parts step by step. Muscle becomes muscle again. Bone becomes bone again. Nerves reconnect, blood vessels reform, and slowly a complete limb returns, functioning as if it had never been lost. Scientists study salamanders because their regeneration is not messy, it is organized, it is precise. It suggests that the body carries deep instructions about its own design, and that these instructions can be activated when needed. Humans have a limited form of regeneration. Our liver, for example, can regrow after part of it is removed. Skin constantly renews itself. Even bone can repair fractures. But compared to salamanders, our ability is small. The salamander's power makes researchers wonder if humans might one day unlock stronger regenerative abilities. Could damaged spinal cords be repaired? Could organs be rebuilt? Could severe injuries become temporary? These are difficult questions, but nature proves that such healing is possible in at least some species. And regeneration is not limited to land animals. In the ocean, certain sea cucumbers can expel their internal organs as a defense mechanism. It sounds shocking, but it helps them escape predators. Later, those organs grow back. It is a survival method that feels almost unbelievable, like a creature sacrificing itself only to restore itself again. Even some jellyfish have regenerative abilities. Certain species can revert back to an earlier life stage, almost reversing their age. Scientists sometimes call this biological immortality, though it is not perfect and does not mean the jellyfish can never die. Still, it suggests that aging itself may not be as fixed as we assume. But perhaps the most famous regeneration story belongs to the animal we met earlier, the axolotl. Unlike many creatures, the axolotl can regenerate not only limbs, but parts of its heart and brain. It can repair complex tissues without losing function. This has made the axolotl a symbol of renewal, a living reminder that life can rebuild what is broken. And when you think about it, regeneration is more than a physical process. It is a quiet form of hope. It is the planet's way of saying that damage does not always have to be the end. Yet not all survival is about rebuilding. Some survival is about cooperation. Many organisms on Earth do not live alone. They form partnerships, exchanging resources, protecting each other, and creating systems that neither could build by themselves. Coral reefs, for example, are built through partnership. Corals are animals, but they depend on tiny algae living inside their tissues. The algae produce energy from sunlight, and the coral provides protection. Together, they create vast underwater cities. Even your own body depends on partnership, with microbes assisting your digestion and immunity. Life on Earth is not only a competition, it is also a network.
And as we continue forward, we will explore the strange and beautiful relationships that connect living beings, showing us that survival is often not about being strongest, but about being connected. If you look closely at nature, you begin to notice something gentle and surprising. Life does not survive alone. Again and again, living beings form partnerships, quiet agreements that allow them to thrive together. These connections are often invisible, but they shape the world more than we realize. One of the most famous examples is coral reefs. Corals may look like colorful plants or rocks, but they are actually animals. Each coral is made of tiny living polyps, small creatures that build hard skeletons. But corals cannot create their bright colors or their vast reefs by themselves. They rely on a partner, microscopic algae called zooxanthellae. These algae live inside the coral's tissues. They use sunlight to create energy through photosynthesis, and they share much of that energy with the coral. In return, the coral gives the algae a safe home and access to nutrients. Together, they build some of the most complex ecosystems on Earth. Coral reefs support thousands of species of fish, crustaceans, and other sea life. They are often called the rainforests of the ocean because they are so rich in biodiversity. Yet the entire reef depends on a partnership so small that it cannot be seen with the naked eye. This is one of nature's greatest patterns. Big wonders often begin with tiny connections. Partnership is not limited to the ocean. On land, many plants depend on fungi. Beneath forests and grasslands, fungal networks stretch through the soil like hidden threads. These networks connect plant roots, allowing nutrients and water to move between different trees. Scientists sometimes call this system the wood wide web. Through these underground networks, older trees may share nutrients with younger saplings. Trees under stress may receive help from neighbors. In a sense, forests behave less like collections of individuals and more like communities. It is a quiet kind of cooperation happening below the surface, unseen. Another remarkable partnership exists between certain animals and bacteria. Some deep-sea creatures, like tube worms living near hydrothermal vents, cannot survive without bacteria. The bacteria live inside their bodies and produce energy using chemicals from the vents. The tube worm provides shelter, and the bacteria provide food. Neither could thrive alone. Together, they create life in a place where sunlight never reaches. Even humans are part of these partnerships. Your gut microbes help digest food and produce vitamins. Your skin microbes protect you from harmful invaders. You are not only a person, you are an ecosystem walking through the world. Some partnerships are even stranger. Certain species of ants protect aphids, small insects that feed on plant sap. The ants guard them from predators and even carry them to safe plants. In return, the aphids produce a sweet substance called honeydew, which the ants eat. It is like a tiny farming system built by insects. Nature repeatedly shows that survival is not always about domination. Sometimes survival is about balance, trade, and shared benefit. But partnerships can also be fragile. When oceans warm, corals become stressed and may expel their algae partners. This causes coral bleaching, where reefs lose their color and begin to weaken. Without their algae, corals struggle to survive. A broken partnership can cause an entire ecosystem to fade. This reminds us that life's beauty often depends on delicate connections. And now, as we continue forward, we will explore another kind of connection, not between different species, but between the past and the present, because some creatures alive today are so ancient that they feel like living fossils, carrying the shape of early Earth into the modern world.
Some animals alive today seem as if they belong to another age. They move slowly, quietly, carrying bodies shaped by ancient oceans and forgotten climates. They are reminders that evolution does not always rush forward. Sometimes a design works so well that it survives almost unchanged for millions of years. These creatures are often called living fossils. One famous example is the horseshoe crab. Despite its name, it is not a true crab. It is more closely related to spiders and scorpions. Horseshoe crabs have existed for hundreds of millions of years, long before dinosaurs appeared. Their bodies are armored, their tails long, and their movements steady and calm. They crawl along ocean floors as if time does not matter. Horseshoe crabs are also important to modern science. Their blood contains a substance that reacts strongly to bacterial toxins. Because of this, their blood is used to test medical equipment and vaccines for contamination. A creature from ancient seas quietly protects modern medicine. Another living fossil is the coelacanth, a deep-sea fish once believed to be extinct. For decades, scientists only knew coelacanths from fossils. Then, in the 1930s, a living coelacanth was discovered near South Africa. It was as if a ghost from prehistory had returned. Coelacanths have lobed fins that look almost like limbs. They move slowly in deep waters, drifting through caves and rocky slopes. Their bodies are built for stillness, for surviving in hidden places. They remind us that extinction is not always complete. Sometimes life hides and waits. And then there is the nautilus, a beautiful sea creature with a spiral shell. Nautiluses have lived for hundreds of millions of years as well. Their shells are divided into chambers, allowing them to control buoyancy and float through the water. They move like quiet submarines, ancient engineers of the sea. These creatures are not fast, they are not aggressive. Their survival comes from stability. They found a way to live, and they kept living. But ancient survival is not only found in animals. Some plants have also remained remarkably consistent over time. Certain types of ferns and cycads existed long before flowering plants became common. They once grew in landscapes dominated by giant reptiles. Today, they still grow quietly in gardens and forests, as if they never noticed the passing ages. When we see these ancient species, we are seeing a living connection to Earth's distant past. They are not just organisms, they are time travelers. And sometimes the oldest survivors are not individuals, but systems. In some places, entire ecosystems have existed for millions of years, maintaining balance through slow change. Rainforests, for example, have supported life for an incredibly long time, evolving into dense webs of species that depend on each other. But even the most ancient survivors are not immune to change. Earth has experienced mass extinctions, moments when huge portions of life disappeared. Yet after each extinction, life returned. It adapted, it diversified, it rebuilt itself again and again. This is perhaps the most powerful truth of all. Life is not a straight line. It is a cycle of endings and beginnings. And as we continue forward tonight, we will explore one of the strangest survival tools nature ever created: the ability to sense invisible forces, to detect magnetic fields, vibrations, and signals that humans cannot perceive, as if the planet itself is speaking quietly to those who know how to listen.
There are forces all around us that we never notice. Invisible currents move through the air. Vibrations travel through the ground. Magnetic lines stretch from pole to pole, wrapping the earth like a silent net. Humans live inside these forces without feeling them, but many animals are deeply aware of them. To them, the world is filled with hidden information. One of the most fascinating abilities in nature is magnetoreception, the ability to sense Earth's magnetic field. This sense acts like an internal compass, guiding animals across oceans and continents. Migratory birds are among the best-known examples. Each year, many species travel thousands of miles, navigating through storms, darkness, and vast stretches of empty sky. They return to the same breeding grounds with astonishing accuracy. Scientists believe that birds can detect magnetic fields through special proteins in their eyes or through tiny magnetic particles inside their bodies. Some researchers suggest that birds may even see the magnetic field as faint patterns, like a soft overlay across their vision. It is difficult for us to imagine, but it would mean that the sky itself carries directions, a quiet map that never disappears. Sea turtles may also use Earth's magnetism. When baby turtles hatch, they crawl toward the ocean and begin a journey that can last decades. They travel enormous distances, crossing entire ocean basins. Somehow, they return to the same beaches where they were born. Studies suggest that turtles can sense subtle differences in the magnetic field, allowing them to recognize locations like invisible landmarks. Even sharks and rays may have magnetic sensitivity. They already have special organs that detect electrical signals in the water, helping them find prey hidden beneath sand. Some evidence suggests that they also use magnetism to navigate through open seas. But magnetism is not the only invisible guide. Many animals sense vibrations. Elephants, as we explored earlier, can feel distant thunder through the ground. Spiders detect tiny tremors in their webs, reading movement like a language. Some insects can sense vibrations in plants, warning them of predators nearby. There are also animals that sense sound in ways humans cannot. Bats use echolocation, sending out high-frequency sounds and listening to the echoes to map their surroundings. In total darkness, bats can see through sound, detecting insects mid-air with extraordinary precision. Their world is built not from light, but from echoes. Dolphins use a similar system underwater. Their clicks travel through the sea, bouncing off objects and returning with information about shape, size, and distance. A dolphin can detect a fish hidden in murky water, as if the ocean itself becomes transparent. And then there are creatures that sense electricity. Certain fish, like the electric eel, can generate powerful electric shocks. Others use weak electric fields to navigate and communicate in muddy rivers. They create invisible bubbles of electricity around their bodies, reading disturbances the way we might read shadows. All of these senses remind us of something humbling. Humans experience only a small portion of reality. We see a narrow band of light. We hear a limited range of sound. We feel only certain vibrations. But the Earth is full of signals. To many animals, the planet is alive with invisible maps, silent vibrations, and magnetic whispers. They move through a world richer than the one we notice. And now, as we continue, we will explore creatures that not only sense the world, but remember it. Animals with minds capable of recognizing faces, holding grudges, forming friendships, and building social stories that last for years.
proving that intelligence on Earth is not rare. It simply appears in unexpected forms.
Intelligence is often imagined as something human, something tied to language, books, and technology. But nature offers a quieter definition. Intelligence can be memory. It can be problem-solving. It can be social understanding. And it can exist in creatures we once assumed were simple. One of the most surprising examples is the crow. Crows are not just birds flying through city streets or sitting on tree branches. They are highly intelligent animals with remarkable memories. Scientists have discovered that crows can recognize individual human faces. In experiments, researchers wore masks while interacting with crows. When a crow was captured briefly and then released, it remembered the dangerous face. Later, even years later, the crow reacted with alarm when it saw that same mask again. Even more fascinating, crows shared this information. Other crows who had never been captured also began responding fearfully to the same face. It was as if the birds were passing down warnings, creating a kind of social story. This ability suggests that crows do not only live in the present. They remember, they communicate, they learn from one another. Some crows have also been observed using tools. They can bend wires into hooks to pull food from hard-to-reach places. They can drop nuts onto roads so cars will crack them open. Then they wait patiently, retrieving the food when the traffic clears. This is not instinct alone, it is strategy. Dolphins show another form of intelligence built around community. Dolphins live in complex social groups. They cooperate in hunting. They protect injured members. They play, not for survival, but for enjoyment. And, as we mentioned earlier, dolphins use signature whistles that act like names. They can call each other across distances, recognizing individuals through sound. That means dolphins may have a sense of identity, an awareness of self and others. Few animals show such traits. Elephants, too, demonstrate deep intelligence. They remember locations and recognize companions after years apart. They show empathy, comforting one another through touch. They grieve their dead, standing silently beside bones and gently touching them with their trunks. These behaviors suggest emotional depth, not just survival instinct. Even smaller creatures show surprising minds. Octopuses, with their alien bodies and shifting skin, can solve puzzles and escape enclosures. They explore their environment with curiosity. Some have been seen unscrewing lids and crawling out of tanks, as if they were determined to understand the world beyond their boundaries. And then there are bees. Bees are tiny, yet their societies are complex. They communicate through a famous behavior called the waggle dance. When a bee finds a good source of nectar, it returns to the hive and performs a dance that tells other bees the direction and distance of the food. The dance is like a living map written in movement. This is communication without words, intelligence expressed through rhythm. Nature does not place intelligence in one shape. It spreads it across the planet, in feathers, fins, and wings, in minds built for survival and connection. But intelligence is not always loud. Sometimes it is quiet. Sometimes it is the ability to endure, to remember, and to adapt without anyone noticing. And as we continue our journey tonight, we will explore another hidden miracle of life, creatures that seem almost timeless, surviving for centuries, carrying slow-moving lives that stretch across human history.
reminding us that the Earth's rhythm is far older and slower than our own.
Time feels different in nature. For humans, a long life might be 80 or 90 years. A century feels enormous. But on Earth, there are living beings whose lifespans stretch far beyond anything we can easily imagine. Some have been alive since before modern nations existed. Some have watched centuries pass like seasons. One of the most mysterious long-living animals is the Greenland shark. This slow-moving shark lives in the cold waters of the Arctic and North Atlantic. It drifts through dark depths, rarely seen by humans. Scientists believe Greenland sharks grow extremely slowly, perhaps only a few centimeters each year. Because of this, their lives can last for an astonishing length of time. Some research suggests that Greenland sharks may live for 400 years or more. That means a single shark could have been swimming through icy oceans before the first colonies were formed in America, before electricity, before airplanes, before most of the modern world even existed. It is strange to imagine a creature living quietly beneath the ice, aging so slowly that history passes above it like distant weather. Long lives are not only found in sharks. Certain whales, like the bowhead whale, can also live for more than 200 years. Bowhead whales are massive, gentle giants that travel through Arctic waters. Scientists have found evidence of old harpoon fragments in some whales, suggesting that these animals were alive during early whaling eras. Their bodies hold memories of human history in the form of scars and embedded artifacts. On land, some tortoises are famous for their longevity. Giant tortoises from the Galapagos Islands can live for more than 150 years. They move slowly, eat calmly, and carry their homes on their backs like living mountains. Their pace of life feels like a lesson in patience. But perhaps the oldest lives on Earth belong not to animals, but to plants. There are trees that have lived for thousands of years. Bristlecone pines in the western United States are among the oldest known individual trees. Some have been alive for nearly 5,000 years. They grow in harsh mountain environments where cold winds and poor soil prevent faster-growing plants from competing. Their slow growth becomes their strength. Their twisted trunks and weathered bark look ancient, like sculptures carved by time itself. Each ring inside their wood is a year of survival, a record of storms, droughts, and passing centuries. Even older than individual trees are clonal organisms. Some aspen groves, like the famous Pando, are made of many trunks but share one root system. The trunks die and regrow, but the organism continues. It may be tens of thousands of years old, existing as a living network that refuses to end. In the ocean, seagrass meadows can also be ancient. Some seagrass colonies have spread slowly across the seafloor for thousands of years, renewing themselves again and again. These long-lived organisms remind us that life is not always fast. It is not always dramatic. Sometimes survival is simply continuing, quietly, day after day, season after season. And as we listen to these stories, it becomes easier to relax. The world feels less urgent. The planet feels steady. Because Earth has carried life for a very long time. And now, as we continue, we will explore a different kind of wonder. Not longevity, but scale.
creatures and organisms so large that they stretch across forests, oceans, and landscapes, reminding us that some living beings are far bigger than anything we usually imagine.
When we think of the largest living things on Earth, we usually imagine whales. We picture massive bodies moving through the ocean, giants of flesh and bone. But nature has another kind of giant, one that does not swim or roar, and one that most people never notice. Some of the largest organisms on Earth live quietly beneath the ground. In the forests of Oregon, there is a honey fungus known as Armillaria. Above the surface, it appears as scattered mushrooms, small and ordinary. But those mushrooms are only the visible fruiting bodies. The real organism lives underground as a vast network of mycelium, thread-like filaments that spread through soil and tree roots. This single fungus covers several square miles. It may weigh hundreds of tons, and it is believed to be thousands of years old. Walking through that forest, you might think you are surrounded by many separate mushrooms and trees, but beneath your feet you could be standing on one connected living body, stretching silently across the landscape like an underground ocean. It is strange to realize that the largest living organism might not be something we can easily see. It may be hidden, working slowly, recycling the forest from below. Fungi are often misunderstood. They are not plants. They are closer to animals in some ways, yet they live in a world of their own. They break down dead wood, returning nutrients to the soil. They connect trees. They shape ecosystems. Without fungi, forests would collapse under the weight of their own dead matter. And fungi are not the only hidden giants. In the ocean, coral reefs can cover enormous areas. While each coral polyp is tiny, together they build structures that can be seen from space. The Great Barrier Reef, for example, stretches along the coast of Australia for over 1,000 miles. It is not a single organism, but it is a living system so vast that it becomes part of the planet's visible geography. Kelp forests are another example. Giant kelp can grow incredibly fast, sometimes more than a foot per day. These underwater forests provide shelter and food for countless marine species. They sway with currents like trees in the wind, creating peaceful underwater landscapes. Even on land, some organisms spread across huge distances through cloning. Aspen groves like Pando form forests made of thousands of trunks, all connected through one root system. The individual trees appear separate, but genetically they are the same organism. It is one living being wearing many bodies, like a single mind expressed through 1,000 branches. This kind of scale challenges the way we define an individual. Is one organism a single body, or can it be a network? Nature seems to suggest that life can be both. And scale is not only about size in distance, it is also about numbers. In a single teaspoon of soil, there can be more living organisms than there are humans on Earth. Bacteria, fungi, microscopic insects, and tiny life forms create an entire world beneath our feet. A forest floor is not just dirt, it is a crowded city of invisible lives. The more we look, the more we realize that Earth is full of hidden vastness. Giants we cannot see, kingdoms beneath the ground, worlds inside a handful of soil. And as we continue, we will shift from these giants to something equally powerful, but much smaller. Creatures that survive not through size, but through extreme toughness, enduring heat, radiation,
and conditions that feel like the edge of existence itself.
There are places on Earth that seem completely unfit for life. Boiling hot springs, acidic lakes, dry deserts with almost no water, frozen valleys where temperatures fall far below zero, and yet life still exists there, quietly proving that survival is not limited to comfort. These organisms are called extremophiles. Extremophiles are life forms, often microbes, that thrive in extreme conditions. Some live in boiling water, where temperatures would cook most living cells. These heat-loving microbes are called thermophiles. They exist in places like Yellowstone's hot springs, where the water is steaming and the air smells of sulfur. To them, the heat is not dangerous, it is home. Other extremophiles live in extreme cold. These are psychrophiles. They survive in Antarctic ice, in glaciers, and in deep ocean waters near the poles. Some of them remain active even when temperatures are far below freezing. Their cells contain special proteins that keep them flexible and functioning in icy environments. There are also acid-loving organisms called acidophiles. They live in environments so acidic that the water could burn skin. Some survive in pools of sulfuric acid near volcanic regions. Their internal chemistry is built to withstand conditions that would destroy other life forms. On the opposite end are alkalophiles, organisms that thrive in highly basic environments. Even the most unusual chemical extremes can become habitats for life. Some extremophiles can even survive radiation. A famous example is Deinococcus radiodurans, a bacterium sometimes nicknamed Conan the bacterium. It can survive levels of radiation that would kill humans instantly. Its secret is an extraordinary ability to repair DNA. Radiation breaks DNA apart, but this bacterium can rebuild it again and again, restoring itself as if nothing happened. This ability fascinates scientists because it suggests life can survive conditions similar to those in outer space. And that leads to an important question. If life can survive extreme heat, cold, acid, and radiation here on Earth, could life exist elsewhere? Mars is cold, dry, and exposed to high radiation. Yet, if microbes once existed there, some might have survived underground, protected from the surface. Europa and Enceladus, moons in our solar system, may contain oceans beneath thick ice. If hydrothermal vents exist there, like those on Earth, perhaps life could survive in darkness, powered by chemistry. Extremophiles expand our imagination. They show us that life is not a fragile candle easily extinguished. It is more like a stubborn flame that finds a way to burn even in storms. And extremophiles are not only important for space science, they also help us understand Earth's early history. Billions of years ago, the planet was hotter and more volatile. Volcanoes were active, the atmosphere was harsh, yet microbes survived. And over time, they helped shape the environment into something more stable. In a way, extremophiles are living echoes of ancient Earth. They carry the memory of a planet still forming, still dangerous, still wild. And as we continue, we will move from microscopic survivors to animals that have evolved astonishing physical abilities, creatures that can withstand deep pressure, survive without oxygen, and perform biological feats that seem almost impossible, reminding us again that evolution is nature's greatest inventor. Evolution is not a designer with a single plan. It is more like an endless experiment. Over millions of years, life has tested countless solutions to the same problem: how to survive. Some solutions are simple. Others are so strange that they feel like miracles. One of the most fascinating survival challenges is oxygen. Humans cannot survive more than a few minutes without breathing. Yet many animals have evolved ways to endure low oxygen conditions for long periods, especially in cold or underwater environments. Certain turtles, for example, can survive months beneath frozen ponds. When winter arrives, ponds freeze over, trapping turtles underwater. They cannot surface to breathe air. Instead, their metabolism slows dramatically. Their bodies enter a state of near dormancy. Some species can absorb small amounts of oxygen through specialized tissues, including areas near their skin. Their hearts beat slowly. Their bodies conserve energy, as if time itself has slowed. Frogs have similar abilities. Some can remain underwater for long periods by absorbing oxygen through their skin. In cold conditions, their bodies require less energy, allowing them to survive with minimal oxygen intake. They wait patiently until spring returns. But oxygen survival is not limited to cold environments. In high mountains, animals face thin air, yet creatures like llamas and certain birds have adapted to breathe efficiently in low oxygen conditions. Their blood can carry oxygen more effectively. Their lungs are structured differently. They live where humans struggle, as if the sky itself is their natural home. Another extraordinary challenge is pressure. Deep in the ocean, pressure becomes immense. At depths of thousands of feet, the weight of the water above can crush objects easily. Yet fish, crustaceans, and other organisms survive there because their bodies are built differently. Many deep-sea creatures have flexible structures rather than rigid ones, allowing pressure to affect them evenly without causing collapse. Some deep-sea fish have special proteins that remain stable under pressure. Their bodies are adapted at the molecular level, showing that survival is not only about shape, but about chemistry. Then there are animals that survive extreme temperature swings. In deserts, some creatures tolerate heat that would overwhelm most mammals. Certain lizards can survive by staying in shade during the hottest hours and absorbing heat in the morning sun. Some desert insects have reflective body surfaces that reduce heat absorption. Even camels, often seen as desert icons, have evolved the ability to conserve water and tolerate dehydration far beyond what humans can endure. Yet perhaps one of the strangest adaptations in nature is the ability to survive without water entirely, at least for a time. Tardigrades, as we explored earlier, can dry out and become dormant, but they are not alone. Some plants and microorganisms can also enter a dehydrated state, surviving until water returns. This ability is called anhydrobiosis, and it is one of the closest things in biology to pressing pause on life. All these adaptations remind us of something quiet and powerful. Life is not limited by what we believe is normal. It expands beyond our expectations. It learns to live without light, without warmth, without oxygen, without comfort. And sometimes it learns to create beauty even in harsh places. Because next, we will explore the world of patterns and signals in nature, the way animals communicate through sound, movement, color, and even vibration, creating hidden languages across the planet, languages that have existed long before human words ever formed.
The earth is full of voices. Not only the voices we hear, like birds singing in the morning or waves breaking along the shore, but hidden voices too. Vibrations too low for human ears, patterns of movement that function like speech, colors and scents that carry messages across distance. Animals communicate in ways that often feel like secret languages. Whales, for example, sing. In the deep ocean, humpback whales produce long, complex songs made of repeating patterns. These songs can last for hours. What makes them even more fascinating is that they change over time.
A whale population may share one song, and over months the song slowly evolves. New notes appear, rhythms shift, sections are added and removed. It is almost like culture, like music passed from one singer to another. Some scientists believe whale songs may play a role in mating, but they may also help whales maintain social connections. In the vast ocean, sound travels far, allowing whales to reach one another even when they are miles apart. Birds also use sound as communication, but in a different way. Many birds sing to defend territory or attract mates. Some species have regional dialects, meaning birds in one area sing differently from birds of the same species elsewhere. It is as if they develop local accents, shaped by the environment and their community. And then there are insects. Crickets and cicadas fill summer nights with their rhythmic calls. These sounds are not random, they are signals. They tell others where they are, what species they belong to, and whether they are ready to mate. Even in the smallest creatures, sound becomes identity. But communication does not always involve sound. Bees communicate through movement. When a bee finds a rich source of nectar, it returns to the hive and performs the waggle dance. The dance includes direction and distance. Other bees watch closely, then fly out and locate the food based on the dance's pattern. It is a living map, written in motion. Ants communicate mostly through scent. They release chemical trails called pheromones. These trails guide other ants to food, warn them of danger, or signal that a new home has been found. Entire ant colonies function through invisible chemical messages, like a city running on scent alone. Even plants communicate, though not in the way animals do. Some plants release chemicals into the air when insects attack them. Nearby plants detect these chemicals and begin producing defensive substances. It is as if the forest is quietly warning itself. In the ocean, coral and algae exchange chemical signals as part of their partnership. Even microbes communicate through a process called quorum sensing, where they release molecules to detect how many others are nearby. When enough microbes gather, they change behavior together, acting as a coordinated group. Communication, it seems, is everywhere. It is the thread that binds ecosystems. It allows animals to cooperate, compete, and survive. And perhaps the most fascinating form of communication is light. Fireflies flash patterns in the night, calling to potential mates. Deep-sea creatures glow in darkness, signaling to one another or luring prey. Light becomes language, turning night into a quiet conversation. These hidden languages remind us that Earth is never truly silent. Even in darkness, even in solitude, life is always sending messages. And now, as we continue, we will explore one of the most mysterious forces shaping life itself, the way Earth's environment influences evolution, pushing creatures to become faster, stronger, stranger, and sometimes even more beautiful, as if the planet is constantly sculpting life like art.
The Earth is not only a home for life, it is also a sculptor. Over millions of years, it has shaped living creatures through heat, cold, drought, storms, and endless change. The environment does not speak in words, but it gives challenges, and life responds with invention. One of the strongest forces shaping evolution is the need to find food. In some places, food is plentiful, and animals can afford to be slow. In other places, food is scarce, and creatures must become efficient hunters or careful gatherers. This pressure creates extraordinary adaptations. Consider the giraffe. Its long neck allows it to reach leaves high in trees where other animals cannot feed. Over time, longer-necked individuals may have survived more easily, passing that trait forward. The result is a creature that looks almost unreal, as if it were designed for a world with taller skies. In the ocean, predators have evolved differently. Sharks developed streamlined bodies, sharp senses, and rows of teeth that constantly replace themselves. A shark can lose teeth and grow new ones again and again, ensuring its hunting tools never wear out. Some animals evolved camouflage as their greatest weapon. The leaf-tailed gecko blends so perfectly with bark and moss that it can vanish before your eyes. Certain moths resemble dead leaves. Some fish mimic coral. Octopuses can change color and texture instantly, becoming sand, rock, or seaweed in seconds. Camouflage is not only hiding, it is survival through invisibility. Other animals evolved warning signals. Poison dart frogs are brightly colored, almost glowing. Their colors are not meant to hide them, they are meant to warn predators. Brightness becomes a message: do not touch. Some creatures survive by becoming poisonous, while others survive by pretending to be poisonous. Certain harmless snakes have evolved color patterns similar to venomous snakes. This mimicry protects them because predators avoid what they think is danger. The environment also shapes bodies in more subtle ways. In cold regions, many animals are larger and rounder, conserving heat. Polar bears have thick fur and dark skin beneath it to absorb sunlight. Arctic foxes grow white coats that blend into snow. Even their ears are smaller, reducing heat loss. In deserts, survival means conserving water. Some plants develop waxy leaves to prevent evaporation. Cacti store water in thick stems. Desert animals like kangaroo rats can survive with almost no drinking water, getting moisture from seeds and producing highly concentrated urine. Birds in windy environments often have stronger wings. Fish in fast-moving rivers develop bodies designed to resist currents. Life adjusts its form to match the world it inhabits. But perhaps the most powerful sculpture of all is time. Given enough time, even small changes accumulate. A slight advantage becomes a major difference. A tiny mutation becomes a defining trait. Over millions of years, the planet has shaped eyes to see, wings to fly, fins to swim, and brains to think. It is a slow process, but it never truly stops. Even now, evolution continues. Bacteria evolve resistance to medicine, animals adapt to new climates, plants shift their growing patterns. Earth is always changing, and life is always responding. And as we move forward tonight, we will explore one of the most fascinating environments that shaped life, the oceans themselves. Because the sea is not just a habitat, it is the birthplace of countless wonders, and within its depths are creatures that still feel like mysteries waiting to be understood. The ocean covers most of our planet, and yet it remains one of the least understood places in the universe. We have mapped the surface of the moon more clearly than many parts of the seafloor. Beneath the waves lies a world of pressure, darkness, and endless movement. A world where life has evolved in ways that feel almost unimaginable. The ocean is not one habitat, it is many. Near the surface, sunlight fuels life. Phytoplankton, tiny drifting organisms, float in the upper layers of water. These microscopic beings may be small, but they are among the most important life forms on Earth. They produce a large portion of the oxygen we breathe. With every quiet breath, you are connected to the ocean. Phytoplankton also form the base of marine food chains. Small fish eat them, larger fish eat those fish, and so the energy of sunlight travels upward through the web of life, feeding whales, sharks, seabirds, and countless other creatures. As we descend deeper, the ocean changes. Light fades, temperatures drop, pressure rises, yet life continues. Some animals develop enormous eyes to catch faint traces of light. Others lose their eyes entirely, living in permanent darkness. Some rely on smell, vibration, and electrical sensing instead of sight. In the deepest zones, the ocean becomes a place of strange beauty. Bioluminescent creatures glow like drifting stars. Anglerfish carry lanterns. Squid flash signals. Jellyfish pulse with soft light. The deep sea becomes its own night sky, full of quiet flickers and hidden movement. Yet the ocean also holds creatures that are not just strange, but highly intelligent. Dolphins cooperate in hunting, surrounding schools of fish like a living net. Orcas, also known as killer whales, hunt in coordinated groups and teach hunting strategies to their young. Different orca populations even have different behaviors and food preferences, suggesting something like culture. The ocean is also home to creatures that seem to challenge our understanding of consciousness. Octopuses solve puzzles, they explore, they escape, they change color with emotion. Their intelligence feels alien, yet unmistakable. And then there are creatures that survive in the ocean's harshest conditions. Near hydrothermal vents, life thrives without sunlight. Bacteria use chemicals from the Earth's interior to create energy. Tube worms, crabs, and other animals gather there, building communities in darkness. The ocean also holds giants. Blue whales are the largest animals ever known to exist, even larger than the biggest dinosaurs. A blue whale's heart can weigh as much as a small car. Its calls can travel for miles through water, low and powerful, like the voice of the planet itself. Yet, despite their size, whales feed on tiny krill, small shrimp-like creatures. It is another reminder that nature's balance is often unexpected. The ocean gives us endless contrasts. Fragile plankton producing oxygen, massive whales feeding on tiny prey, glowing creatures in darkness, silent forests of kelp swaying beneath waves. And perhaps the most astonishing truth is that much of ocean life remains undiscovered. New species are still being found in deep trenches and unexplored regions. The sea is not finished revealing its secrets, and as we continue forward, we will explore the delicate balance that keeps Earth's ecosystems alive, the way water, air, and life interact like a quiet system of breathing, reminding us that the planet itself is not just a rock in space, but a living network.
Earth is not alive in the way animals are alive, yet it behaves like something that breathes. Water evaporates, rises into the sky, forms clouds, and returns as rain. Carbon moves through forests, oceans, and air. Oxygen is released and consumed in an endless cycle. Life and the planet are woven together so tightly that it becomes difficult to separate them.
One of the most important systems on Earth is the water cycle. The water you drink today may have once been part of an ancient ocean, a cloud above a prehistoric forest, or a glacier that melted thousands of years ago. Water moves constantly, changing form but never truly leaving the planet. It travels through rivers, soil, living bodies, and the atmosphere. It is Earth's quiet bloodstream. Plants play a major role in this cycle. Trees release water vapor through their leaves in a process called transpiration. Forests can create their own rainfall by releasing moisture into the air. In this way, trees are not just passengers on Earth, they help shape the climate. Another vital system is the carbon cycle. Carbon exists in the air as carbon dioxide. Plants absorb it during photosynthesis, using sunlight to turn it into energy and structure. Animals eat plants, and carbon moves into their bodies. When animals breathe, they release carbon dioxide back into the atmosphere. When living things die, carbon returns to the soil and eventually becomes part of the earth again. The oceans also absorb enormous amounts of carbon dioxide. Tiny marine organisms use carbon to build shells and skeletons. Over time, these shells sink and become part of the seafloor, locking carbon away for long periods. The ocean is not just water, it is one of the planet's greatest regulators. And then there is oxygen. Much of the oxygen we breathe comes not from forests, but from the ocean. Phytoplankton, the microscopic drifting plants of the sea, produce oxygen through photosynthesis. Their work is invisible, yet it supports nearly every breath of every animal on land. This means that every time you inhale, you are connected to distant oceans and tiny organisms you will never see. Even the soil beneath your feet is part of Earth's living system. Soil is not just dirt, it is a complex mixture of minerals, decaying organic matter, fungi, bacteria, insects, and countless other life forms. Healthy soil supports plants, and plants support animals. The ground is alive with quiet movement. When ecosystems are balanced, the planet functions smoothly. Forests store water. Oceans regulate temperature. Microbes recycle nutrients. Insects pollinate flowers. Birds spread seeds. Everything is connected in a network of exchange. This is why small changes can have large effects. If pollinators decline, plants struggle to reproduce. If forests disappear, rainfall patterns shift. If oceans warm, coral reefs bleach and entire ecosystems weaken. Earth is a system of delicate balance, yet it is also a system of incredible resilience. It has endured ice ages, volcanic eruptions, and asteroid impacts. It has lost species and created new ones. It has rebuilt itself many times. Life does not control Earth, and Earth does not control life. They shape each other continuously, like two dancers moving together through time. And as we continue tonight, we will explore one of the most beautiful expressions of this connection, the way living things depend on one another through food chains, ecosystems, and hidden relationships, showing that no creature truly survives alone.
If you could step back and see Earth as a whole, you might notice that life is arranged like a vast web. Every living thing is connected through energy, through food, and through the quiet exchange of survival. This web is what scientists call an ecosystem, and it exists everywhere, from forests to oceans, from deserts to city parks. At the heart of every ecosystem is one simple truth: energy must flow.
Most energy on Earth begins with sunlight. Plants capture sunlight through photosynthesis and turn it into sugar, building their bodies from light. These plants are called producers because they produce energy-rich material that supports everything else. Animals that eat plants are called herbivores. Deer, rabbits, insects, and many fish survive by feeding on plant life. They are the next step in the chain, carrying the sun's energy into moving bodies. Then come the predators, animals that eat other animals. Wolves, hawks, sharks, and countless other hunters feed on herbivores, moving energy further up the chain. But ecosystems do not end with predators. When animals die, their bodies do not disappear. They become part of another world, the world of decomposers. Fungi, bacteria, and insects break down dead matter, returning nutrients to the soil and water. Without decomposers, ecosystems would collapse under the weight of death. The planet would become buried in its own remains. Decomposers are the quiet cleaners of Earth, recycling life into new life. And ecosystems are not only about eating, they are also about relationships. Some relationships are competitive. Animals fight for territory, food, and mates. Plants compete for sunlight. Even microbes compete for space and nutrients. But many relationships are cooperative. Pollination is one of the most important examples. Bees, butterflies, birds, and bats carry pollen from flower to flower. The plant receives the ability to reproduce, and the animal receives nectar. This exchange supports entire landscapes. Without pollinators, many fruits and crops would not exist. Another example is symbiosis, where two species live closely together. Corals and algae, as we explored earlier, build reefs through partnership. Clownfish and sea anemones protect each other. Certain birds clean parasites off large mammals, receiving food while helping their host stay healthy. Even predators play an important role. Wolves, for example, can shape entire ecosystems. By hunting deer, they prevent overgrazing, allowing plants to recover. This can change riverbanks, forests, and even the behavior of other animals. A single predator can influence the balance of an entire region. This shows how interconnected life truly is. Remove one thread and the web shifts. Ecosystems also exist in places we might not expect. A backyard garden is an ecosystem. A pond is an ecosystem. Even a fallen log is an ecosystem, hosting insects, fungi, moss, and bacteria. Life creates communities wherever it can. And the most fascinating part is that ecosystems are never still. They change constantly. Seasons shift, populations rise and fall, new species arrive, others disappear. The web rearranges itself endlessly, adapting to the world around it. Earth is not a static planet. It is a living system in motion. And as we continue forward, we will explore how this system has endured through the planet's greatest challenges, surviving mass extinctions and rebuilding again, reminding us that life's most powerful trait is not strength, but persistence.
Earth has not always been gentle. The planet's history is filled with disasters so enormous that they reshaped life completely. Oceans changed, skies darkened, forests vanished, entire species disappeared. And yet, after every collapse, life returned. This is one of the most haunting and beautiful truths about Earth. Life persists. Scientists have identified several mass extinctions in Earth's past. These were periods when a large percentage of species vanished in a relatively short time. Some extinctions were caused by volcanic eruptions that filled the atmosphere with ash and gases. Others were caused by climate shifts, and one of the most famous was caused by an asteroid impact. About 66 million years ago, a massive asteroid struck the Earth. The impact released energy beyond anything humans have ever created. Dust and debris rose into the atmosphere, blocking sunlight. Temperatures dropped. Plants struggled to grow. Food chains collapsed. This event is believed to have ended the reign of the dinosaurs. But it did not end life. Small mammals survived. Birds survived. Crocodiles survived. Insects survived. Seeds survived in soil. Deep-sea organisms survived far from the surface chaos. Life hid in sheltered places, waiting for the planet to calm. Over time, ecosystems rebuilt, new species evolved, forests returned, oceans stabilized. The Earth became green again. In a strange way, extinction is not only an ending, it is also a reset. When dominant species vanish, new opportunities appear. Empty niches open in ecosystems, and life fills them with new experiments. This is how mammals eventually rose. This is how new forms of birds evolved. This is how life diversified into countless shapes, each one adapted to a changing world. Another mass extinction occurred long before the dinosaurs, known as the Permian extinction. It was the largest known mass extinction event, wiping out the majority of marine species and many land organisms. The exact causes are still debated, but massive volcanic eruptions and climate shifts likely played a major role. For a time, the planet may have seemed almost lifeless. Yet even then, life returned. Microbes survived. Hardy plants survived. Small animals survived. Over millions of years, new ecosystems formed. Life rebuilt itself from what remained, like a forest growing again after a fire. This cycle of destruction and renewal teaches something important. Life is not guaranteed, but it is resilient. It does not depend on one perfect world. It adapts to whatever world exists. Even today, we see smaller versions of this pattern. After volcanic eruptions, new landforms and plants begin growing in ash. After wildfires, seeds sprout and burn soil. After glaciers retreat, moss and grass slowly colonize bare rock. The planet is always healing. And within this healing is another quiet truth. Life is interconnected. When ecosystems collapse, they collapse together. But when life returns, it also returns together, rebuilding networks of cooperation, competition, and balance. Earth's story is not a straight path. It is a rhythm, a pulse of change. And as we approach the final stretch of our journey tonight, we will step into a more personal wonder, because the planet's story is not separate from yours. The same forces that shaped ancient oceans also shaped your own body, your breath, your cells, and the invisible life living inside you. When you think about Earth's history, it can feel distant, like a story happening far away in time. Ancient oceans, mass extinctions, creatures older than dinosaurs. But the truth is much quieter and closer. The story of Earth is written inside you. Your body is made of elements forged in stars. Carbon, oxygen, iron, calcium, and countless other atoms were created in ancient stellar explosions long before the Earth even existed. Over time, those atoms became part of clouds of dust, then part of a young planet, and eventually part of living cells. In a very real sense, you are made of recycled stardust shaped into life. And inside your body, there is another universe. Your microbiome, the community of microbes living on and within you, is made of trillions of organisms. Many of them are bacteria, but there are also fungi and viruses. Some live in your gut, helping break down food. Some live on your skin, protecting it. Some live in your mouth and nose, shaping the invisible environment of your body. Scientists once believed bacteria were mostly harmful. Now we understand that many are essential. Without them, digestion would be weaker, immunity would be less balanced, some vitamins would not be produced properly. Even the way the brain communicates with the body may be influenced by the microbiome. You are not just one organism, you are a living ecosystem. And this ecosystem changes throughout your life. It shifts with diet, sleep, stress, and environment. The microbes you carry today are not exactly the same as the microbes you carried years ago. Life within you adapts, just as life on Earth adapts. Your cells themselves are ancient in another way. Every human cell is a descendant of cells that existed billions of years ago. The first living organisms on Earth were single-celled, and over time they evolved into more complex forms. But even now, the structure of your cells carries traces of that deep history. Mitochondria, the tiny powerhouses inside your cells, were once free-living bacteria long ago. At some point, they entered into partnership with other cells, and the relationship became permanent. This ancient partnership is one reason complex life became possible. It allowed cells to produce energy more efficiently, paving the way for animals, plants, and eventually humans. Even your breathing connects you to ancient life. The oxygen you inhale exists because early photosynthetic organisms changed Earth's atmosphere. Long ago, oxygen was rare. Then cyanobacteria began producing it, slowly transforming the air. Over time, this allowed more complex life to evolve. Your lungs, your blood, your heartbeat all depend on a transformation that began with microbes in ancient seas. When you realize this, it becomes clear that your life is not separate from the planet. You are part of its continuing experiment, a moving piece of Earth's history, shaped by evolution, chemistry, and time. And perhaps that is why learning about nature can feel so calming. It reminds us that we belong here, that our existence is part of something vast and ongoing. And now, as we drift toward the end of this journey, we will explore one final peaceful thought, not about survival or adaptation or ancient creatures, but about the quiet beauty of life itself and the gentle truth that Earth's wonders continue every moment, even while we sleep. As this journey comes to a close, it helps to remember something simple. Life on Earth does not need an audience. It does not need to be noticed. It continues quietly, moment by moment, whether we are awake or asleep. Right now, somewhere in the ocean, tiny plankton are drifting through moonlit water, creating oxygen with every slow movement. Deep beneath the waves, glowing creatures are pulsing like underwater stars, lighting darkness with soft flashes. In distant forests, fungi are breaking down fallen leaves, turning death into soil, returning nutrients so new trees can grow. In deserts, seeds are waiting beneath dry sand, holding their life inside them like a secret. In frozen regions, microbes are resting in ice, patient enough to survive years of cold silence. In rivers, fish are moving upstream, guided by instincts older than memory. In the sky, migratory birds are following invisible magnetic lines,
traveling across continents without ever seeing a map. And beneath the ground, roots are stretching deeper, searching for water, weaving hidden networks that connect entire forests. Earth is full of unseen motion. Even your own body continues its quiet work. Your heart beats without asking permission. Your lungs rise and fall in gentle rhythm. Cells repair themselves. Neurons whisper signals. Microbes in your gut continue their invisible tasks, helping you digest, protecting you, maintaining balance. Your body is an ecosystem, and it never truly stops. There is something peaceful in knowing that life is always moving forward, even when we are still. The planet has endured countless changes. Ice ages came and went. Oceans rose and fell. Continents drifted. Entire species vanished and new ones appeared. Yet life remained. It adjusted, adapted, and found new ways to exist. That does not mean life is unbreakable. It means life is persistent. And perhaps that persistence is one of Earth's greatest gifts, a reminder that endings are often followed by beginnings, that destruction can lead to renewal, that even in darkness, something is still growing. The deep ocean vents that may have sparked the first life are still active today. They still release mineral-rich water into the sea, and life still gathers around them, glowing, crawling, thriving without sunlight. The same chemistry that may have started everything continues to run quietly beneath the surface. In a way, Earth is still creating itself, and you are part of that creation. Every breath you take is part of the planet's cycles. Every heartbeat is part of the long chain of life stretching back billions of years. Every cell in your body carries a history older than mountains. So, as you rest tonight, you do not need to hold on to worries. You do not need to solve everything right now. The planet has been moving through time long before any one thought, and it will continue moving long after. For now, all you have to do is breathe. Let the world be wide, let the story be slow, and let yourself drift gently into sleep, knowing that Earth's quiet wonders will still be there when you wake. Good night.